Welcome back to Red's Bar at Minehead, and a very friendly battle here in the last 16 between Woody and Chizzy, two of the most creative nicknames in darts, as you can hear. But now, best of 19 to see who will join Damon Heta in the last 8. It could be new territory for Luke Woodhouse. It has been a year of him doing new things, making the World Grand Prix and getting to the last session of a European Tour event as well. But as far as Dave Chisnall's concerned, he's looking to do an English triple in this tournament. He's already taken out Chris Dobie and Lee Evans, whereas Woodhouse has taken out an Australian first on this board, and then he took care of Rob Cross a little bit earlier this afternoon, didn't he, Murph?
He did, and he took care of Dave Chisnall at that World Grand Prix, didn't he? He didn't only get there, he beat Chizzy in the opening round, 2-0, and then ran into the eventual champion, another Luke Humphreys, who is a big
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
First runner
leg,
in this
safe
event.
To throw first. Game on.
I was going to say favourite, but Michael van Gerwen's astonishing display this afternoon might have changed that. Dave Chisnall put a very good performance in himself.
100.
Hasn't really happened for him on TV this year, which is surprising, because everywhere else it has happened.
Yeah, he's had his best year on the European Tour, and
180.
arguably his best year of his career. But here's the thing, the year isn't over yet. Just imagine if he was to win either this or the Worlds.
98.
Then you can write your own script. But he must back up that display that we saw from Dave on the main stage this afternoon. That was astonishing against Dobie.
But it's Woodhouse who's come out firing the shots here. 5 out of 6 darts have found their way into the treble 20.
139.
Let's see how this first leg pans out. And we will talk about that performance from Chizzy, because it's worth it.
100.
Excellent start.
It is, but he could have actually used the ball at some point in that shot. Could have been on 76, for example, rather than 81 when he comes back here, Luke Woodhouse, which means
120.
no bull at the end of the shot. Of course, he can eliminate that by hitting a treble. But it is the bullseye. And that's the issue. A really good leg of darts, but one slight mathematical error has handed an easy opportunity to Chisnall.
Here we go with a bit of Motown, only just. Double 10 for Dave.
34.
Feathered that one through the air with his new darts.
Well, you said only just. The first dart's often a bit of a tell, isn't it, in those combination finishes? If it's not certain, then the doubles are often missed. That's a way off from Woody.
Game shot the first
He made the necessary adjustment. And takes the first leg. Probably deservedly so in the end.
It's Luke to throw first. Game on.
Opening break of throw. Yes, Dave this afternoon, 109.88 with 7 maximums. 43% on his doubles in a 6-4 win over the Masters champion. That was astonishing from Chisnall, but it was a good 9 points behind that of Michael van Gerwen.
180.
Chisnall is back in amongst the maximums. He gets his first. And I get the feeling it won't be his last. He's made the final of this tournament before. In 2016, lost to MVG by 11 legs to 3.
78.
He's made it to the final day of this tournament 3 times. That doesn't spring any surprises to anybody, really, because he's been on the final day of many tournaments.
100.
He's been outgunned in that department already by Luke Woodhouse. We've already seen 3 180s in this game.
A finish, though, for Woody after that one, but there won't be for Dave unless he locates a treble, which he does.
There's a few countries left in this tournament as well.
95.
I might be surprised to hear that at the start of the last 16 we had 3 Belgians left. England, the most represented nation left in the tournament,
90.
with
Luke
7 players.
68.
And the Netherlands with 3 as well. The other three countries, Germany, Australia, and Northern Ireland. And silly, silly Woody.
Well, it's another shot where you could go somewhere else and avoid the prospect of having to go for the ball at the end of it.
Game shot.
Never mind, hits the ball at the end of it.
Woodhouse.
Great rescue act from Woodhouse.
Save to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, that one, look, professional dart player, you'd back yourself to hit the single 20. However, if you go for
100.
a different target, for example, the 16s.
Do you know what? In sporting terms, that 68 checkout was like bowling a wide. Then the batsman hits it with the inside edge and it hits the stumps.
140.
You'll take the wicket, but it was off a delivery that you didn't think you would get the wicket.
Well, it's all going well for Woodhouse at the
78.
moment. Dave Chisnall maybe just stuttering slightly at the start of this one. A reminder what we've seen so far. Damon Heta got the better of Brendan Dolan, 10-8. Kim Hybrecht, Stephen Bunting on the main stage is currently 8-8. Many fancied the bullet. Hybrecht, though, is threatening to knock him out.
180.
That tally tied up, 2-2.
I'll keep you up to date with that one. I'm sure there are plenty of you out there who are double screening it.
125.
I wouldn't blame you if you are.
143.
You don't want to miss a trick. And Woodhouse could be 3-0 up here. And where have we said that already tonight? That could have been the same for Damon Heta. He looked dominant at the start, but was pegged back by the time they had that break at 10 legs.
Luke Woodhouse looks a different player lately. That's a perfect start. Perfect dart. Double 9.
87.
Big chance goes begging to lead 3-0 when he come to rue that later on.
So far, this is a carbon copy of the first game of the night. If Chisnall hits this, it will follow the path. But he's not hitting doubles.
Luke, you
A
require
1 double 4. For 3-0.
Game shot on the third leg. Luke Woodhouse.
And he does get that big advantage
Fourth leg,
against Dave Chisnall. It's a double break
Game on.
advantage as well. He could be 4-0 up here if he holds his throw, and it's a long way back. And again, we're seeing a really high quality affair, and it's getting better.
180.
He looks fresh, he looks energetic. Sometimes when you play 2 games in a day, like today, you might feel a little bit flat in the second one, but what I'm seeing from Luke Woodhouse here is very encouraging.
3 180s for the Bewdley boy.
I'm not sure that nickname will catch on.
Better than Woody.
Is it?
Okay, maybe not.
If he makes the world final, is he going to be walked on by a character from Toy Story?
Oh, the whole shebang. Especially if he plays Ryan Murray.
Even Mr. Potato Head. I just got that.
Muzz
Right.
Lightyear.
Muzz Lightyear, there you go.
123.
You know, if Dave Chisnall was to support a team in the NFL, it'd have to be the Green Bay Packers, because they're called the Cheeseheads.
54.
So, you'd have to be the Chishead.
141.
Yeah, they are rather unimaginative
65.
nicknames, but you can't imagine them going by anything else now, can you?
Not really. They made their bed, they're going to sleep in it.
I was quite like the chisel for Dave Chisnall.
140.
Good luck with that.
Luke, you require 76.
Right, good luck with this. If he gets it, Chisnall is in trouble. Pair of 4s.
72.
They were very good attempts, both
Dave, you
wired.
require 92.
Chisnall is hanging on like Sylvester Stallone in Cliffhanger. 2 double 18s. Nothing is clicking so far.
32. Luke, you
Last
require
start was
4.
in the single 12. Double 2. The target for 4-0. Double 1. Madhouse for Woodhouse.
No score.
This is the reprieve that
Dave
Chisnall
requires
needs.
60.
He needed Woodhouse just to have a bad leg. He needs to take full advantage of it.
Game
And he
shot on
has.
the fourth leg. Dave Chisnall.
This game goes to 3-1. And the
Fifth
main
leg, it's Dave
stage
to throw first.
is
Game on.
9-8 to Stephen Bunting. It's getting very tight up there, like it was in our first game. Chisnall needs a bit of a hot spell.
4 missed starts at double for Luke
140.
Woodhouse to lead 4-0.
Good standard in this game. High 90s in the first 4 legs. Doubles so far,
81.
they will improve. 20 and 30% respectively for Chisnall and Woodhouse.
180 all day long, twice on Sundays.
180.
He's going to win the tournament. He might need more than 2 180s tomorrow, mate.
Just so good, isn't he? When that first dart is in. I mean, I've never seen
58.
anybody hit a 180 when the first dart isn't in, but you know what I mean.
He's got a different dart these days as well. He had the same design for about 3 or 4 years
140.
with a bit of onyx black in it, and the grip pattern was a bit more aggressive. Now he's gone down to a finer groove pattern, and they're going through the air very, very
97.
well.
Dave
Yeah, and he's
required
getting into the
41.
groove in this match, isn't he? 140, 180, 140. And then 1. And 40
Game shot on the fifth
for a dozen
leg.
dart leg.
Dave
Dave
Chisnall.
Chisnall could have been
Sixth
4-0
leg, it's
behind in
Luke
this
to
match.
throw
Survived 4 bullets for that scoreline. Instead, he's within 1 of Woodhouse at 3-2.
137.
In order for Chisnall to continue to put pressure on Woodhouse, it's not just the 60 that needs to work. It's the switches and the doubles need to be much better, much more
100.
efficient than the first few legs. What I can confirm now is that somebody else from Merseyside is in the final 8. That's Stephen Bunting. He has beaten Kim Huybrechts by 10 legs to 8. A somewhat
23.
attritional affair compared to what we've seen this afternoon, but Bunting will be ecstatic. He's in the quarters.
Tell you what, he's in some form, Stephen Bunting. Maybe going slightly under the radar because of the exploits of Luke Humphries, but the bullet is firing at the moment, and they are glorious darts from Luke Woodhouse here. Another 180. Another 180.
123.
Not another one.
Luke to require 84.
We've been heaping praise on Chisnall, but what a leg this is from Luke. Terrible, I think he said, for that one.
72.
He is someone who is very honest about his performance.
Well, you used the word matured to describe him yesterday, and I think that was very fair. He was very much a
24.
harsh critic of himself, wasn't he, Luke
Luke to
Woodhouse?
require 12.
He would often take to Twitter before he even lost the game.
Game shot on the sixth leg. Luke
It doesn't
Woodhouse.
look like losing this game the way he's playing.
Seventh leg, it's Dave
You made
to
a good
throw
point, Murph,
first.
because
Game on.
if he'd been in this game, let's say 2 years ago, if he lost it by any margin, he would have tweeted within 90 seconds. And that's not an exaggeration. Now, he just doesn't do that. Because I think he's learned that it just doesn't help him.
58.
Well, Dave Chisnall does do 180s. He's just added another to his tally in this match. We've seen a fair few in this game.
134.
8 in total. Shared by the pair.
I do wonder how many Dave's going to need. This predicament that he's in,
59.
I have a feeling he might need double figures at some point.
Well, he's averaging in 3 figures, 101.13. That's about 5 points more than Luke Woodhouse. But one of the
49.
reasons for that is Woodhouse has actually bought himself more chances at doubles and therefore had more low-scoring visits because he's missed a few doubles, 4 out of 13, whereas Chizzy's only thrown 7 at double in this game.
95. Dave, you
That's a
require
good 95 in the end.
138.
Oh, I don't like that dart at all. He's got 99 with 1 dart. That shouldn't happen. Should have stayed on the
56.
19s, even though it's blocked. You get the single, He can hit a 60 and leave tops to 3 darts. That was really messy, Dave.
$99. Dave, you require 82.
Bullseye for starters. 17. Double top.
Game shot
Beautiful.
the 7th leg.
Well crafted
Dave
checkout
Chisnall.
from Dave
8th
Chisnall.
leg, it's Luke to throw
That's
first.
exactly what you've got to do after a setback. He did not do things right in the previous visit. So when you've got 82 there, get rid of it. And you alleviate any possibility of emotional
96.
torture at this stage of this game. He might have a goal by the 10-leg break. And at the minute, if you offered him 5-5, he'd have it. But imagine if he goes in at 6-4 up, he will feel 10 feet tall.
Well, we'll need a break for that scoreline. In fact, he is still a breakdown, isn't he? So we'll need a break for 5-5. But he did have a 15-dart hold in the previous leg. You're thinking he's looking at 4 visits to get a break of throw.
140.
Look how disappointed he is with a 140. And a good 140 at that. It just goes to show how he feels about his game right now.
59.
And he is the person this year who has denied Luke Humphries more titles than anyone. Go to the start of the year, and we went to Kiel in northern
41.
Germany. We were all thinking at that stage, what's going to happen this year? What kind of years, what kind of seasons are these people going to have? If you'd have offered the title hold to Chisnall that he's had, he would have said, well, yes, I'll have it.
140.
Still something missing.
Just having a little word with himself there, Chisnall, because he's opened the door for Woodhouse in this leg. This was a chance to break. It still could be, but won't be.
Luke required
Luke
110.
Can finish 110. Plenty of options on it. Treble 18. Would have left double 18, and he know he wanted it. And the reason he wanted it is because he's looking at Dave Chisnall on 46 and thinking, I'm not coming back in this leg.
54.
I don't think he is either,
Dave, you required 46.
because the doubling is starting to improve in this game as we go on. It's double top.
Game shot.
There
the
we go.
8th leg.
Luke was right.
Dave Chisnall.
So will we.
9th leg, it's Dave to
So he
throw
gets that
first.
break, and now it could be
Game on.
that 5-5. It could even be that 6-4. Woodhouse has had the buffer. Remember, he led this match 3-0.
Do you know the story about Dave's stems and
140.
flights?
We'll share it with the viewers regardless.
About a year ago, he was winning in Belgium, and he was leaving yellow spray on the dartboard because he was hammering the flights so much
97.
that things were chipping away. And we found out that he was getting the flights and stems painted. But since then, he has sourced somebody who can paint them for him, who's
85.
professional at this kind of stuff. And there's not a chip on those things now. Great work. And no surprise, he chose yellow.
100.
No surprise to see that he's managed to maintain a 100 average and is turning this tie around. He'll be about to go ahead for the first time. Haven't seen that snatch much in this match,
77.
but it was on show there, and it resulted in a wayward dart for Chisnall, which isn't always the case. You must have seen that close up many times, Paul, where you were
100.
infuriated at seeing him throw the dart all wrong, but the outcome is all right.
That's why you can't really coach a player like Dave, because he's so organic.
Thinking here, is he going treble 13?
133.
Probably the wrong route.
Again, I don't like it. He's left 66. If Woodhouse hits a max here, or a 140, he might only get 1 dart a double.
Dave, you require
Yeah, had he gone the
66.
19s, he'd have been on 60 here, guaranteeing 2 darts a double. And it will only be the 1. Is that all he needs?
46. Luke, you
It's the
require
difference between winning a
104.
leg sometimes and not. 54 needed. And And he's not being
48.
punished for the mistakes he's making
Danger
tactically.
required
And there's that
20.
petulant last start from Luke Woodhouse that we used to see a lot a couple of years ago, but don't really see that much. He just threw it without even taking care. And now he could have been getting
16.
3 darts at double, but he's only getting 2. Both players just making
Luke required
what I would regard as
56.
schoolboy errors at the moment.
Yeah, don't throw darts away. Use every single dart you have. Especially this one.
36.
He's being mentally tested right now. But execution-wise,
Danger required 4.
he has failed in this chance to get back ahead and to be at least level at the break. Chisnall has got 2s for the lead for the first time in the match.
Game shot on the 9th.
The corner of double one will do.
Chisnall.
His first
10th leg,
lead
it's
is
Luke
after
to the
9
front
legs, and he
first.
understands that it could have been a lot worse. What do you say, Murph? It's going to be
59.
4 long matches tonight, isn't it?
Well, this is very similar to the first one. One player getting away at the start, the other one reeling them back in. But I think how long this one goes depends a lot on
100.
this leg. I think there is a potential scenario here that if Chisnall breaks again and leads 6-4, Luke Woodhouse will need to make sure his mindset's right when he returns.
Oh, I agree.
100.
He's 6-4 down after being 3-0 up. He's going to be chuntering to himself for a good 5 minutes in the break.
Yeah, and then there's a possibility that Chisnall could just go away like a hot air
60.
balloon.
Slowly and effectively.
Yeah, basically Woodhouse grounded watching him disappear into the distance.
93.
A big yellow balloon. He's earned a lot of money in his careers, Dave. Millions, in fact. One thing he doesn't have is a big yellow balloon.
43.
How do you know?
I know him. I've asked him.
Michael van Gerwen on the main stage next. That staggering performance this afternoon, an average of 118.52, the record
41.
of the Players' Championship finals. A 6-1 win over Ross Smith. He plays Super Mario Vanden Beharde on his best major run in PDC darts today. And coming next on this board, Gabriel
74.
Clements will meet Niels Zonneveld.
Yeah, don't think that's just 2 players making up the numbers. Clemens averaged over 100 this afternoon, and Zonneveld is averaging 100 for the tournament.
60.
Neither player at the moment looks too happy. Both will maybe be wanting the break, in need of the break.
140. Luke
Chisnall hits that
148.
84 off the Woodhouse miss. Would you like me to ask you that question again? Does Chisnall want the break if he's 6-4 up? I'm not sure he does.
Dave, you require 84.
But it would be 6 out of 7 legs, sorry for Dave Chisnall. And now he needs double 6 to take the leg.
78. Luke, you require 14.
Let off for Luke.
Game shot
And he is
the
level
10th
at the
leg,
break.
Luke Woodhouse.
So lots to mull as 10 legs have been completed on the stage. Really interesting as Woodhouse took a 3-0 lead, but Chisnall had a great chance of being 6-4 up. He fluffs his lines, and just like the first match, we will have a best of 9 second half when we come back. We are tied at 5-5. Are we going to see what we saw in our first game of the night, with Damon Heta winning by 10 legs to 8? Had to survive a few dicey moments, but this one, it's interesting to see who will come through it. Will it be another final day in the Players' Championship finals for Dave Chisnall, or will it be a first
Thank you,
for
ladies
Luke
and gentlemen.
Woodhouse?
11th leg. It's Dave to
Best
throw
of 9
first.
legs from here
Game on.
to see who makes the quarterfinals. And awaiting in the quarterfinals will be either Clemens or
85.
Zonneveld, who play next.
Yeah, one of the 4 players on stage in the next hour will be a semi-finalist come tomorrow night on the main stage. Chisnall has enjoyed victories so far against Lee
100.
Evans 6-2. He beat Chris Dobie this afternoon 6-4. He averaged 109.88 in that match. Whereas Luke Woodhouse
60.
has got the better of Simon Whitlock and Rob Cross. Both on this stage, both with averages in the low 90s. So you would expect, based on what's gone before, Dave Chisnall to be the far superior player in this game. But it
58.
hasn't been borne out that way.
Not at all. And if Woodhouse can close the deal here over the next potentially 8.5 legs,
40.
because of the complexity of what we've seen in this tournament so far and on this stage, we are guaranteed to have 2 new semi-finalists from this stage tonight, because Damon Hetter's never been to the semis. The only person left on this stage tonight who has is Dave Chisnall.
Well, Luke Woodhouse has never been in a quarter-final in a major PDC tournament.
86.
So this would be a landmark moment for him if he did just win this match.
Why do I get the feeling this tournament is turning into the UK Open from this year? Because we're getting people
59.
to new places just like Andrew Gilding did back in March. What a year it's been for new champions like Humphreys and a new match play champion in Aspinall.
83. Luca require
Woodhouse and many others still in the field are used to watching Sunday at home. Could be on the stage, but still lots of work to do. Chisnall has effectively taken back control of the contest with that surge of 5 out of 6 legs
130.
before the break.
Davey require 147.
But Woodhouse might immediately grab the baton back.
97. Luca requires
Chisnall is
32.
way more versed in best of 19 darts,
Game
but he's
shot the
6-5
11th
behind.
leg. Luke Woodhouse.
He has been in many different scenarios
Top
in the
leg, it's
past
Luke to throw first. Game
when
on.
it comes to games like this. I've seen him beat Michael Smith on the match play stage from 7 legs behind, so this won't faze him. But the more Woodhouse gets in this last 16
58.
match, the more we will find out about him, because when you're getting into new territory, you are doing things and feeling things
96.
you've never experienced, and you're learning at an incredible rate every minute or two.
Taking a moment on this occasion. Still not happy. And the reason is he's got that break of throw. He's got a break advantage. Yes, it's 1 leg on the scoreboard, but it feels like 2 when you're a break up, and he's giving it straight back, he feels.
96.
Just to embellish on what we talked about at the end of the first session, I think Woodhouse has got to get really focused here. He's got to stop shaking that head. And this is where practice
60.
away from here really pays. Get yourself in that bubble and don't break it. Do your job and withstand everything your opponent does.
99.
And do what you need to do. Chisnall might not be the kind of player that you think would gobble up negativity from his opponent, but I assure you he would. And he knows plenty about
60.
Woodhouse. They've met 7 times before. Chisnall has got a 4-3 lead, but like you mentioned earlier, the most recent
60.
meeting was won on the stage by Luke.
Well, just a little lull in this match at the moment. Who can take the bull by the horns?
140.
Even a 140
Davey
there
require
doesn't really
150.
damage Dave Chisnall's break bid. Because Woodhouse has to find 2 trebles and a double himself.
180.
It's very nice.
Luca require 139.
As far as ton plus checkouts in this game are concerned, it's nowhere near what we had from Damon Hetter and Brendan Dolan in the previous match.
97.
It might take something like that
Davey
from Luke
require 32.
just to emphasize his position in this match as we get towards the end of it. Double 16 for Chizzy.
Game shot on the 12th leg. Dave
cancels
Chisnall.
out that break and effectively takes back
13th leg.
control.
It's Dave to throw first. Game on.
This is where this tournament is borderline harder than some other majors. You think about the Slam last week. What did
60.
Humphries have to do on Sunday? He had to play 2 best of 31 matches in the same day. That's hard. Here today, a best of 11 and a best of 19. When you play at the match play,
99.
or the World Championship, or the World Grand Prix, it's 1 match a day. This discipline is just a little different. You haven't just got to peak once, you've got to peak twice.
60.
And tomorrow, 3 times. Quarter-final in the afternoon, semi-final and final on Sunday night, which has to be one of the best
140.
atmospheres of the year. The last Sunday of the PCF, which is the last ranking action before the Worlds.
140.
I wonder what Dave Chisnall will do at Ali Pali. He's had his moments there. Never really threatened to go all the way. He is probably the player most
92.
deserving of a major that hasn't got one in the modern game.
Trying to say he's the Lee Westwood of darts, or the Colin Montgomery, even though Monty won at senior
54.
level.
Luke
I just wonder if he would be a bit of a
170.
Pringles tube, Dave Chisnall, if he did win his first one. I wonder if Luke Woodhouse will pop the ball.
138.
Decided against going for it.
Care to elaborate on the old tube remark? What's that one?
Well, once he pops, he might not be able to stop.
Oh, I see what you mean. Now I get it, yeah.
80. Luke
Other crisps are available.
32.
But aren't as good. Wasn't paid to say that. I wasn't
Game
paid to
shot
say
on the
7-6
30
either, but it is
Luke
7-6.
Woodhouse.
Yeah, the reason I said that was because
14th
there was a
leg, it's
time
Luke to
about
throw first. Game on.
8, maybe even less, 7 years ago, when you would say the 2 players that were next in line to win a major were Peter Wright and Dave Chisnall. Peter Wright won his
140.
here in Minehead and then went on a magical run over the next half a decade of picking up more and more and more. Dave Chisnall still hasn't got one.
Well, maybe he just wants to be in the final of everything before he wins one. And he hasn't quite done that yet. Hasn't been in a World Championship final in the PDC. But he has at Lakeside, losing out to Wolfie.
140.
We are entering a very interesting part of this game.
100.
If one person takes their foot off the gas, someone is going to take full advantage of it by the looks of it.
And it's a strikingly similar game to the one we saw just before, which Damon Hester ended up winning 10-8.
140.
If Woodhouse carries on, Chisnall's going to start having to rely on mistakes.
And constantly in the second
45.
session of this
Luke
match,
require
he's been
81.
struggling with finding the height on the dart. He's been hitting that small 20 for fun. Double 16.
Game shot
Things
on
are
the
changing
14th
all right
leg.
because Woodhouse has got a
Luke
2-leg
Woodhouse.
cushion.
50th leg,
He
it's
hasn't had
Dave
that
to
in a
throw
while.
first.
I make that his first 2-leg cushion since the first 3 legs of the match.
100.
They had a really strong start. Dave Chisnall took care of the middle of this game. But Luke Woodhouse has started a sprint finish here.
54.
On the main stage, by the way, is 2-2 between Van Gerwen and Van den Behade, so he's already done better than Ross Smith managed
86.
this afternoon, the Belgian.
Do you give Mario any hope in that game?
I'm just going to say it, no.
134.
Neither do I. Already seen one Belgian go out at the hands of Stephen Bunting. Kim Huybrechts is gone. Another Belgian on the chopping block against Van Gerwen. And then
125.
Dimitri Vandenberg is playing tonight as well. He's playing James Wade.
I think that was the performance
58.
that MVG needed this afternoon.
Yeah, but then again, he played awesome in Poland and was eliminated fairly early at the match play. So
58.
it's got to be good, but it's got to be sustained.
Yeah. But if he does it for the rest of the tournament, I mean, not that level, but plays well for the rest of the tournament, that changes things. If he wins this tournament, he goes into the Worlds as a favourite, doesn't he? Not
Dave, you
Luke
require
Humphries.
132.
I'd have to agree.
Chisnall's got the luxury of going this route, not the bull option,
60.
because Woodhouse for once isn't on a finish before him.
Just one more on that point, by the way. If Van Gerwen goes into the Worlds at world number 2, and Humphries goes in at 4, they could play in the final.
Sign me up.
123.
Didn't like that, did he?
Dave requires
At all.
72.
That was right in the middle of the 60 and the 54.
That was aiming at treble 12, so now 63 remaining. It'll be treble 13. The single leaves the bulb. Can't bail himself
47.
out. He could be in all sorts
Luke, you
of
require
trouble here.
75.
Darts is all about taking chances. What a chance this is. To be 3 legs ahead for the first time since leg 3.
55.
That did not sit in his hand right. I think it twisted
Dave, you
and
require
he threw it anyway.
25.
He did have a chance of stopping there, but decided not to. He might pay for that miss.
$17.
Doesn't pay the price. Chisnall cannot capitalise.
Luke, you required 20.
You can take a little too much time on shots like this. You've got to remain in your rhythm, and that's wonderful from Woodhouse, who needs one more for his first quarter-final
16th
in a
leg, it's
big
Luke to
PDC
first.
major
Game
tournament.
on.
He's taking big steps this year, and here's another thing. Yes, he's one leg away from the quarters, but if he wins through to the semi-finals,
99.
he could even be a seed for the World Championship draw.
So what's it worth to him? The extra money from getting past the first round free.
180.
The money he gets for the semi-finals. He's talking a good £20,000 bounty here for Luke Woodhouse.
Yeah, absolutely.
However, Chisnall is not done
96.
yet. 180 to kick off leg 16.
Like we've seen before, Chisnall is never dead until the final double is landed.
140.
I remember a game he had against Adrian Lewis once. I think it was at the European Championship. And he needed 157 against Adrian in best of 11. In the last leg. Adrian was sitting on a double. And as soon as the 60 went in, Adrian folded his arms and said, "You dare." Yeah, he got the 157. Wonderful shot.
127. Luke, you require 167.
This is for the match. It's not going to happen in style for Luke Woodhouse, but there have been scenarios in this game where Chisnall's been on these kind of finishers
Dave
and
required
hasn't taken them.
54. Game
He's at the
shot
stage where he
16th
can't
leg.
miss.
Dave Chisnall. 17th
If
leg.
Luke
It's
puts
Dave
himself
to
in
throw
position
first.
and
Game
Dave's got
on.
any sort of shot, whether it's 54, 32, 2 or somewhere in between, he must hit it or he runs the risk of going home in the next few hours.
140. $97.
He's going to try and make Woodhouse work for it.
137.
Why do I get the feeling that this game is only just starting? Because Chisnall is hammering the scoring here in leg 17.
100.
And the more he finds two treble visits, the more he will just creep closer and gain more confidence, and he's doing it again.
83.
He has the benefit of missing the treble 20 on that occasion because he's a maximum in front.
83. Dave, you require 141.
Woodhouse is not cutting the figure of someone who is 2 ahead and needing only 1 to finish this job. He can see
89.
Chisnall in his rearview mirror.
Yeah, really can. Maybe already thinking about the next leg, or is he thinking about rattling Dave Chisnall's cage here?
140.
Left himself 36 in the last leg.
Dave required 52.
Chisnall took the 54. Woodhouse leaves 81. Chisnall needs 52. This must go in. And it does.
Shot on the 17th leg.
He's stopping
Dave
Woodhouse
Chisnall.
from getting a match shot. This is
18th leg.
brilliant
It's
from
Luke to
Dave.
throw first. Game on.
Now the break. Now the break required from Chisnall. And Luke Woodhouse determined just not to give him a chance. What a start.
140.
That's okay. That's more than okay. Chisnall may need a 9 to win this leg.
Famous last words.
82.
All good for Woody.
One treble visits could be very good from here, but get 2. Gold dust. 3, even better.
180.
Diamond dust.
He's ready. That's what it's telling me.
43.
181 after 6, and that prediction that Chisnall might have needed a 9 darter could come true.
Those 5 treble 20s. Make that 6.
80.
Yeah, 6 treble 20s out of 9 darts have put Chisnall in the birdhouse. Or maybe even the doghouse.
99.
It may just be a matter of time
Luke
before
required
Woodhouse
101.
punches his ticket to Sunday for the first time here in Minehead.
He gets a go at double 12.
Game.
And
shot.
Luke Woodhouse
And
lands
Luke Woodhouse.
a landmark win in his career. Woody is through to a first PDC major quarter-final, and he's done it by chucking out Chisnall in the last 16. A quality closing out of the contest from Luke Woodhouse. Did it with the 101 for a dozen dart leg to seal victory. A win over Dave Chisnall by 10 legs to 8. The same scoreline in the first match on this stage tonight. Damon Heta beating Brendan Dole. And we've got 2 more to come for you. Jermaine Wattermain meets Ryan Joyce. But next, it's Gabriel Clements versus Niels Donneveld.